Hey, what's going on, everyone? Isaiah Henry here, and we are live on the First Position Real Estate Show. Today we have on Era, real nice guy, and real classy investor. He's got a lot going on, so it's going to be a great conversation there. For those of you who don't know, we are hosting a live in-person event for new and beginner real estate investors. It's on September 25th. That's a Sunday. We're going to get it rolling around 10 a.m. It's going to be great. We got some guest speakers, door prizes, handouts. It's going to be a great event. If you want some tickets, we have VIP and general admission tickets. Go up to my bio. There's a link there, and you can register. If you have any questions, let me know. But that's enough of that. Let's get Ara on here and get into it. Where is he at? Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man?
You're good. You're good. Yo, you took it down. Hey, your hair looks sleek. Look at this guy.
Look at that, Mr. Clean Style.
I like it. I like it. But the beard is still there, man. Everyone I have on the lives, I swear, it's a contest of the beards this year. It's crazy.
Now we're back. We're back.
There you go. Yeah. No, it's good. How are you? Things are good.
Everything's good, man. Everything's good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Can't complain. I gave a little intro about myself, but why don't you give everyone a 30-second intro, what you got going on, who you are as an investor?
Yeah, so my name's Eric Palladian. I run a construction company based out of the Cambridge, Kitchener-Waterloo area. I started heavily investing right at the beginning of COVID, actually. And I'm a structural engineer by trade. And COVID was just kind of a big eye-opener for me. And the fact that I really didn't get into real estate investing at all. And I was like real in the heart of like construction.
Yeah.
So, I mean, long story short, basically, I started a new job 3 weeks before COVID hit. And I was like the second guy to get laid off. And I was like, and like they wooed me to go there. You know, they gave me a huge pay raise. They wanted me to be a project manager, all this stuff. And then just like that, boom, I was gone. So that was the be all and end all of that. Like, you know what? I'm not going to let other people dictate putting food on my table. Like, I'm a young dad. I got married really young. We got 3 kids, and I'm like, there's no way this is happening. So, yeah, I just kind of took the plunge, man. I got straight into real estate. I had really a lot of mentors along the way, and yeah, we're just going strong right now.
I love it. I love it, man. Obviously, I've been following you. We've had a couple conversations like off camera and stuff. So I really love what you're doing, and I'm sure the audience is going to as well. I got 3 questions for you. If you're cool, I'll dive right in.
Yeah, man, go for it.
Awesome, man. So you mentioned your construction company, but you're also a real estate investor, obviously. Can you kind of explain how it is running both businesses? Because a lot of people think, oh, I'm just like an investor who does renovations, but for you, it's 2 separate businesses. I'd love for you to touch on how that has been, challenges, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so at the beginning, it was very challenging not having the right support team around me. Before I actually like hired legit employees, it was really tough. I caught myself, missing out on opportunities in the investing world because I was too busy in the business on a day-to-day basis. So the biggest difference was for me,
Yeah.
honestly, was I hired a site supervisor and one construction lead hand. The second one's starting in a couple weeks. So 3 employees
That,
under me that are just kind of taking over all the site work. So that was the biggest thing because that really escalated the real estate side of things because they have the day to day. I can now just focus on working on the business and searching for off market deals and really growing the portfolio.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So you mentioned a big thing that I think all business and investors like worry about, like hiring or like bringing someone on your team. Like, how was the mindset shift versus I can do this all myself versus I need someone or other people to help me out?
The biggest thing was honestly, so we got a contract to do a 17 unit building renovation for a client. And I was like, there is absolutely no way I can handle this by myself. Like, I just knew it. So I just dove right in. I was like, I need to hire at least one, probably 2 people, and just kind of go at it.
Yeah.
He didn't give me 17 units right away. He had 2 that were vacant that were doing full gut renovations, and then as more were becoming vacant, he was kind of going to be handing them off to me. And on top of that, I had my own stuff going on, my
Yeah.
own renovations. So I was like, this is going to get too crazy. So yeah, that was the biggest thing. And even now I've caught myself doing too much of like the day-to-day project management. So that's where, I'm jumping into hire potentially like a project coordinator to take a lot of that off my plate too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, is there any resources that you've been using or, books or that you could maybe shout out that kind of helped you understand the importance of bringing people onto your team?
Yeah, right off the top, Who Not How would be the number one.
There you go. There you go. If anyone hasn't read that book, make sure you get a copy of Who Not How. Like
Yeah.
same thing for me. Like change the way I saw business and say change the way like I saw the operations of it. So that's awesome. I'm glad things are working. You're getting some more people in your business and things are
Yeah.
going there.
And
Um,
another book, I would say for sure the E Myth. The E Myth was another. That was like 1A, 1B for sure.
100%. Man, I'm telling you, this should be required reading, like just to
Hundred
get into
percent.
business. I'm telling you, it's awesome, man. Second question I have here, and I know we've talked about this a little offline before as well. What is the best way for investors to build strong relationships with contractors? I'll kind of preface it because everyone and their mom says, "Oh, it's so tough to find contractors. My contractor never calls me back." But you got to understand they're running a business and you are as well. So, what's a good way for you to kind of meet in the middle to have a good relationship?
I think the number one thing people do wrong is they look for the cheapest quote. That's then in my opinion, like I'm never gonna be the cheapest guy, and nor do I, take pride in being the cheapest. Like we use high quality, materials. I pay my guys really well. Labor just in general has gone through the roof. Like my site supervisor, he makes $40 an hour, and honestly, he's probably worth more. With how much he saves me, he's probably worth more. But $40 an hour is a really good wage. Um, but contractors got to make a living too. Like people think like general contracting, these guys aren't sitting at home driving Ferraris, right? They're just working like they work hard. They go to site, have bills to pay. But at the end of the day, it's not like there's like the highest profit margin out of all the industries out there.
Yeah.
So to really cheap out on that, you're on the wrong foot right away. Most likely you're dealing with a contractor that is trying to get like way too much work going on at the same time to really increase their profit margins, so they're taking a bit of a pay cut. And then like you said, you're going to be calling them and they're not going to show up. They have like three other projects on the go.
That
So
makes sense.
I think referrals is number one. Make sure they have good referrals. Go visit one of their ask to go see one of their active job sites. If they have none, then that's a red flag. um,
That's good. That's good info.
Yeah, and just be upfront, honest with them. Get multiple quotes, but again, make sure you're comparing apples to apples. Some guy will just. I have a duplex conversion. I have three quotes. One's 80,000, one's 150, and one's 170. I'm gonna take the 80. It's like that guy's probably not quoting you the same as the other two. You
Yeah,
know.
that makes
So
a lot.
make sure they're actually quoting apples to apples, right? Are they including appliances? Are they excluding redoing the roof? There's so many, there's so many variables there that can make a huge deal. Cheapest is not always the best. That's like what I tell everybody.
I love it. I love it there. Now, maybe even diving a little bit deeper to like the nitty gritty stuff there. So you're looking at, you said we got three quotes for everything. Now, are you looking for like labor and materials? Is that something that's standard if you're looking at a quote, or if a contractor just kind of like napkin math, say, hey, this is going to cost you 50 grand, just one number and a signature? What would you kind of say with both of those instances?
Yeah, depending on how big the scope of work is. If you're doing like a full on duplex conversion, even if it's just one number, at least if they had a detailed, portion of their quote where they're explaining to you what's included, what's not, you
Yeah.
know, pretty like vague, then that would still be really really good.
Okay.
Don't expect somebody to break out like every single thing. Like I want to know how much your kitchen's gonna cost. I want to know how much your tile's gonna cost. I want to know how much your flooring costs. There's no way someone's gonna break it down that intensely. If you want to do something like if you're doing a duplex conversion, let's say, and you're like, can you break it down into what the upper is gonna cost and what the lower is gonna cost? Stuff like that is definitely reasonable for an initial quote. But the most important thing is when you actually have the contract, then that's when it gets very detailed,
Okay.
right? So don't just go off a quote and sign it and be like, okay, start. Make sure that there's an actual legal document, a contractual document that you guys are working together on the project. So
That's
I'll have
awesome.
an initial quote, and then I'll have like a 7-page contract if I get hired to do the job.
That's awesome. Now, in that contract, does that break it down even further, or just more or less break down the agreement between both parties?
I break it down. I don't necessarily break it down in price further, but I break it down in material a lot further. So like
Yeah.
I'll even include like what kind of tile I've quoted. You know, if it like even like very specifically like the client wants 6-inch hexagon tile in the kitchen, backsplash, let's say, or um, subway tile shower walls. It'll all be like very outlined to what I'm providing. You know what
Gotcha. Okay.
I
That
mean?
makes sense there. Now, let's say, sorry, I know I got one more question though. Let's
Yeah.
say there's a contractor and, he gives you a quote, you get three, he's right in the middle, so we're good there. And you're like, okay, hey, I'd like to sign this construction agreement. And he's like, oh no, they're like, I don't want to sign anything. This is my quote, take it or leave it. What would you say to those kind of contractors?
I wouldn't work with them. Yeah.
No,
I
that makes
wouldn't work with them. There's nothing wrong with everybody protecting themselves and having a legal document stating what's going on. You know,
no, that,
like in my contracts, I even outline payment schedules, rough estimated time of being completed, so everyone kind of realizes, if it's a 2-month job and we're on month 5, then like I even stated that it should only take 2 months, right? So everything's written down at the beginning. So I'm an open book, and that's how I run my business too. Like I just want to be open and upfront with every aspect.
I love it. That's awesome, man. I really, love the way you do stuff. Last question I have for you here. So I know you're doing a lot in the KW area, and you touched on this before. In terms of actually like acquiring or looking at deals, what are you seeing more popping right now? The off market, the on market, and why for whichever answer you choose.
I think both, honestly. I think there's a huge buying opportunity right now. That's what I'm seeing. I actually just picked up a flip 2 days ago. We just picked up a flip. That's one aspect of the business too. We've done one this year. Um,
Nice.
so we got an off-market flip. I have an offer right now on a 15 unit, waiting for the owner to sign. That's again on 100% off market. And then I actually just got a
Yeah,
sixplex sent to me today. That I'm gonna review later on today. So I think honestly, if you just get yourself out there, the off market deals are still there. I always prefer to go off market. If it's not off market, maybe just like an executive listing where you're talking to like a broker directly. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Maybe he doesn't have it on the MLS, but he's only sending it to like 4 or 5 of serious buyers, and make sure you get on that list. But yeah, that's what I think. I think off market is still the way to go.
That's good. I love it there. I love it. I love off market too. The markets that I play in, like I look at both there. Now, when you're doing off market, like you're saying, a lot of people are like bringing deals to you. Are you like marketing super hard for off market, or are you more hitting those relationships harder for the off market stuff?
For me, it's all about relationships. So the flip we just picked up was through a wholesaler. The other flip that we did in May, a wholesaler brought me the deal, and then we kind of JV'd on it.
Yeah.
He brought the deal at a no wholesale fee, and then I did all the work at like cost.
Yeah,
And then we split profits 50-50 basically. So it's all about networking. It's all about relationships.
that's
That, that,
amazing.
that's number one, man. Just get yourself out there, talk to everybody, be yourself. That's another thing. Be yourself. Don't be fake. And and the deals are there, man.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, so much golden nuggets for this guy. I love it there. Last question for you. Are you willing to move your business to Timmins and do all my construction?
Timmins, no, man. I can't. That's too much for me. That's too much
That's
of
a
a,
little bit,
that's too
the
much of a
commute's
hike.
tough there, eh? The commute's tough.
That's right. That's right. But I heard
That's
that market's
funny.
hot.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm the tyrant up in Timmins, man. I'm doing my thing up there. Like, lots going on over there. So that's awesome there. Before we wrap up, any questions from you to me before we kind of close this thing out?
No, man. I honestly love what you're doing, man. Your social media game is very inspiring, man. You're killing it.
I
Um,
really appreciate
you
that.
got to give me some pointers on that, man, because I think I'm slacking a little bit. Uh,
100%. Well, you DM me anytime, and I'd be more than happy to share my quote unquote secrets and the way I do things there. But as we wrap up here, where can people find out more about you if they want to get involved, learn a little bit, or maybe get some info from you?
yeah, probably Instagram. DM me on Instagram at Palladian Construction. Our website just went live, so you can always check us out there. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet website. I won't lie. So it's just palladiumconstruction.ca.
Awesome.
Yeah, check that out. There's like a section there where you can if you're interested in being a partner with us or whatever the case may be, to put all your information through there, or just email me. It's basically era@palladiumconstruction.ca. So very simple stuff.
That's awesome, man. I'll put your Instagram in the show notes here, and then we'll fire out some other stuff when we have it there. But hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us. I'll wrap it up quickly here. My name's Isaiah. I'm founder of First Position Real Estate. I help government employees in Ontario invest in real estate so they can build wealth and retire early. We had on Ara today. What a freaking gem! Like, dropping the construction knowledge, all things there. He's got a lot going on there. So, Ara, I wanted to say thank you on behalf of my company. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Take care, everyone. Have a good one.
You too.